Hello, this is Ashee from Crafting with Ashee, and welcome to this Christmas card making tutorial. This is the lovely card I have to share with you today, and it uses a whole load of scraps, including my basic white scraps, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Sorry about the flicking of the light, I was trying to find a light that was good. So now I've got just a scrap piece of basic white, and all I'm going to do is glue my scraps down to this piece of basic white just in rows. Now all the scraps don't measure the same, widths are different, some of them aren't as straight as others. It doesn't really matter. I'm just gluing them down, making sure that no pattern is next to a pattern of this that is exactly the same. And these scraps, I believe, are from my Take a Bow die pack of pattern paper, which I've been using a lot of. So I have a lot of scraps, because you know, when you cut a 6x6 down to make a standard card base here in the UK, you end up with scraps, and all I've done is cut some of those down to make my Christmas card today on my Christmas tree. So just going to continue to glue these in rows, and then I'm going to do this last one here. There we go. And you could do, you know, whatever you want. You could use up your scraps however you want, using 2 different patterns only, or as I've done here, a whole selection of patterns. It's really up to you how you want to do this. Now I've worked out I don't have enough scraps to go to the end of my piece of paper, so all I'm going to do is cut off the excess on the one side, and then I've got some scraps here that are long enough to cover the top of my card. I'm going to stick that down, and I'm truly using up my scraps this way. There's not a lot I can do with the extras that are here, and I'm just cutting off the excess on the other side. Okay, and you can see I've just used my silicone mat to stop myself getting glue all over the place, though this does tend to gunk up my scissors, I would have to say, and I'll have to degunk them soon again. Right, there is my new pattern paper I've created from my scraps. Now I'm going to die cut out this tree from the Merriest trees die set, and I'm going to put a piece of basic white cardstock that measures 14.35 centimeters through the snowflake sky embossing folder. So I'm going to stick another piece of basic white on the inside of my card, as you can see here. And I should say this card base is garden green. It's a standard A6 card base. That's an A4 sheet cut in half and then folded in half. And here you can see I'm taking my piece of basic white that I put through the snowflake embossing folder, and I'm sticking it to the front just like that. Now I'm sorry if you can hear some bangs in the background. I'm filming this on Guy Fawkes Day, and there's a lot of bangs and booms about, so I do apologise for that in advance. So I'm just taking my piece of scrap paper, and I'm just cutting out a little piece here to make my trunk, and I'm going to cover the back in dimensional, so I have a nice even dimension on my tree. And I love my dimensionals, and I'm very generous with them, as you can see. I don't want this to flop in the centre or get squashed in the post as it goes through the machines, so I tend to be generous with my dimensionals. Now I'm going to add a little dimension here to the base of my stem, my trunk, and I'm going to stick everything down on my card. There you go. Now I've cut out this lovely Christmas from the Peaceful Season Christmas dies, and these are they, and you get the outline and you get the shadow. And I've cut the Christmas out of the festive glimmer paper, the red festive glimmer paper, and then I'm going to stick it down to a piece of basic white here, and I'm just taking my time to align it up really good. That's why it's good to use a nice wet adhesive. It gives you that wriggle room to get things really lined up. And then I'm going to put a dot of glue on the top of the eye, and then I'm just using my take your pick tool to pick up that tiny little dot, put some glue on it, and there you go. There's the Christmas. Isn't that lovely? Okay, so we're ready to do a little bit of stamping, and we need to stamp our sentiment that says Merry. And I'm going to use the Peaceful Season stamp set again. You can also use the Greetings of the Season one, which I've used here. Both of them have the word Merry in them. It's up to you. Doesn't really matter which one you use. I pulled one for one card and one for another. Pick this up with my block. There we go. And I'm going to stamp in Cherry Cobbler ink, which is just here. Lovely. And I'm going to cut this out using my trimmer and my scissors. So I should say, if you're enjoying this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. I would love for you to join me again for future videos. I do upload 3 times a week, so please do that. If you're wanting more information about the projects, like the supply list, etc., that is all listed on the blog post, and you can find the link to that in the description box below. So now I've cut out my Merry using my scissors, and I'm just matting it on a scrap piece of red cardstock, or red pattern paper rather. It's very much here today about using those scraps up, because we all have piles and piles of scraps and we need to use them up rather than just sitting there and creating more scraps. So this is a great way to use those scraps up. Right, I'm just going to stick this down with some Tombow, my lovely Christmas. I'll stick it to my tree and it says Merry Christmas. Isn't that cute? Now I've got some of this gorgeous ribbon, and this is the gold and Cherry Cobbler ribbon, and this is why I stamped in Cherry Cobbler, because I took it from this ribbon, and I love this ribbon. It's just so beautiful and such a pleasure to work with. So I've made a bow. I am not the best at bows, so please forgive me. My bow is cute, but it's certainly not good by any stretch of the imagination, but it's the best you're going to get from me. If you can show me how to make a great bow, I'd love to know. So now I'm going to decorate using some of these transparent dots, and I'm just dotting them about here and there. I do keep 2 uneven numbers because I feel it does look better, so I've got 5 here. So there you go. There are my 2 cards, and I hope you like them. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and thank you again, and until next time, enjoy being creative. Bye.